Okay, so in SAP HANA Studio, we will have three types of information views. So these information views actually build the data in the form of a HANA Studio. We have worked upon the catalog level. In the catalog level, what we have done is we created SQL based tables, SQL tables, and then we have something called content. In the content level, okay, so how did we create this SQL tables? Is we first created the schema. These are also called schema tables because they are under the schema. They are called schema tables. Then we have the content. In the content, we created a package, and in the package we created the information views. We created the information views. So this information views actually have this data. So information views, we have attribute view, analytical view, and calculation view. Attribute view, analytical view, and calculation view. In attribute view is equivalent to a dimension of a star schema. Attribute view is equivalent to the dimension, which will have only the attributes. Then we have analytical view equal to the star schema. Then we have calculation view. Calculation view is kind of a multiple things. Like calculation view can have multiple things. It can be, so calculation view is made very flexible, and you can have multiple star schemas. You can combine schema tables. You can combine attribute views, analytical views, and other calculation views. All these things can be made use of and combined in the calculation view. So basically, if you observe, calculation view is a very flexible thing. So going forward, in most of the HANA Studio developments, they actually skip building the attribute views, analytical views, and they focus on calculation views only, because everything and anything can be done in calculation views. Okay, so there are different types of calculation views that we have. They are the graphical and SQL. So graphical is like you can do it with the drag and drop which we have, and then we have something called this is a graphical one, and the second one would be the SQL based. You have to write the logic to create the SQL calculation view. So the graphical calculation view will do one right now with a table. You can create it with tables, we create it with attribute views, analytical views, anything. Okay, so it's kind of a very flexible kind of a thing, and throughout data warehousing we have a very standard process of dimension, star schema. These all will be there in every data warehousing tool that we have in the market. Every data warehousing tool. But attribute views and analytical views are something which are which actually satisfy the principles of the conventional data warehousing technique of dimension, star schema, and all. But calculation view was created in such a way that it is beyond all the principles. It's beyond all everything. So it's like a very flexible thing. And later, initially it was the attribute views, analytical views we used to build. But for anything and everything, we build calculation views right now. So wherever you see, 90% of the times you will always see the calculation views. Okay, so now we'll see at building the calculation views here. So let's build a calculation view, and we will create a calculation view based upon table. The schema table. In fact, we can create multiple tables and then build upon that. So now let me open that screen and share it with you. So we have built this project, and so we are here at the Eclipse, and this is the HANA Studio level, and then we have this favorite packages, and we can add our favorite package here. If you want, you can just right click on this and you know, add package, if at all, if there is any package which we want to do it. So basically we only created this you know, this is an ABAP perspective actually. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead with the HANA modeler perspective. Let me select the HANA modeler perspective, and here we'll select the okay. Now here we have this catalog. In the catalog we had built the schema called Vikramaditya, and in this we have also created the tables. The table, there is a particular table called Zcast. Now, just like we have S-Flight and S-Carried tables by default, there will be something called, this is something called, we have Sysbic, and we have Fashion, E-Fashion. So those are purely for the practice purpose. Okay, so let me have this Sysbic. There will be default tables which are for training. We have SAP HANA demo. We've got a lot of, so I'm trying to make use of a table which has already been built instead of building it on our table that we have created in the schema based table. Instead of that, I'd like to create it on some other table. So I'll search for, let me see if VPK is there. No. These are the tables that we have here. So we have got a lot of tables which have been replicated from the SAP ECC server or any source server. So these are the tables that are already available here. So what I'm trying to do is I would like to build a calculation view based on these tables, any of these tables. I've got something called demo_exploit_agg. Oh, I think we don't have the data in that. So, okay, there's no point in taking those things, those tables if we don't have data. Maybe we can build them, we can build a couple of them. So we have actually created one particular table which has this zcust, and it has got the customer number, customer name, purchase order. So let me quickly build one more table which will have the address details, because I would like to have multiple tables here, at least two tables. So I'd like to build a table with these all options here. So let me now build a quick table. So I'll keep the customer number and customer name same, but then I will give that as contact number. And then we have this is contact number. Alright, email, address. So these are the fields that we would like to keep it here in the master data table. So we would like to establish a connectivity also between them. So I'll give this as Okay, I have built the data here, and this data will go and save as cust master and say okay. And once this has been built, we'll create another another table with this, another schema based table with this. So let us now go to the file, go for import, and then data from local file, say okay, select the server, next, and browse, then customer master, then header, and then we have, we'll be getting these options here. So here the schema name is Vikramaditya. So I'm selecting that. After selecting that, we need to see this table. Maybe I have to change the resolution here. Okay, so here I'll be giving the table name as Z. As I told you, Z is not mandatory, but I'm just giving it Z custom M. It's a master table. Say next, and we've got these all mappings being done. So I'll make this customer number as a primary key and click on finish. And then once it's been done, so we will be able to see that here. We'll be able to see that particular table here in the refresh. Once we refresh, we'll be able to see this. So this is the data that we have in the table level. Table level we have this data, and now we have got two tables. So let's quickly go to the content level and create the. So we have this. So right click on this, new calculation view. So this is the one which we have, calculation view, and here we'll go ahead with ZBA underscore calculation view. And here when you observe here, we'll have which is of type cube and type dimension. Type dimension is exactly equivalent to our attribute view. Okay, and cube is equivalent to our, what do you call, the cube, the analytical view. So now first we'll go with the dimension. Dimension means we can go with even a single table, and when you create a calculation view of type dimension, it's exactly equivalent to the attribute view. Now what we are going to do is we are going to click on finish, and then we have to go ahead with this options here. We'll have the semantics and prediction. So we will go ahead and create a attribute similar to attribute. We will create it, but with a source of table. As I told you, we can take the source as table or attribute view, analytical view. Everything can be done. So we'll go ahead and select this zcust m and drag and drop here. And now we can simply select the fields that we want and project them in the at the table level, the calculation view level. So semantics, and it's not mandatory that we have to select a particular field as a key figure. It's very important to have a key figure when you're joining multiple tables. We'll see that one as well. Say OK, save and activate, and once it's saved and activated, you have to click on display so that we can display the data. So we'll click on raw data. So when I click on the data preview, we'll get this and go for this raw data. We'll go for this raw data. I think like we don't have the data here. Fine, I'll just check this calculation view. So we need to build that logic like grant access, also open SQL, and we need to write the code for granting access. So the grant access, if you write, it should work. So we'll go for this grant select and schema. To SYS underscore. This SYS underscore repo happens to be a standard one with grant option. So we'll just select that. Okay. Now that we have done this, let's try again. So there is a patch that needs to be installed, and once the patch is installed, we can see this data at the calculation view level. But when it comes to the attribute view, analytical view, we are able to see that especially for the calculation view, we need to have that. So just for calculation view, we have that issue. I'll just write to the admin team so that they can install the patch and fix it. So we'll proceed with the next type of calculation view, which happens to be the calculation view based on graphical on the cube. So let's go for the new calculation view here. And in this we'll have it as of type cube. So if it is of type cube, we need it's mandatory for us to have attribute view and measures cube based. So here instead of this we will go for cube, and we can select the star join later. For the next concept, I will go for with star join. Click on finish. Now here we have to drag and drop that. In the aggregation we have to drag and drop that. So if it's of cube, I have not selected that star schema. So when I have not selected the star schema, what will happen here is like we can select this in the aggregation. I'm dragging and dropping this table fields and customer number, customer name, purchase order. That's it. So at least one measure is mandatory here. Okay, I'm selecting only 3 fields here. Select that and customer. So we'll just select this purchase date as a measure. If it is not taken, since it's type cube, it throws an error. So we'll get this raw data, and here also the privilege has to be given so that we can see the data. So this is how we do it, and by default the customer number is taken as a measure. We can change it as an attribute. Here also, if we change it as an attribute without any measures, then what will happen is here it will actually throw error kind of a thing. Okay, so here it's mandatory for us to actually go for at least one measure when we are doing it of type cube, and then we will go ahead. Okay, so we can just see the data once we have that issue fixed, and next we'll go ahead with a database, a cube which is based off cube with star schema. Technically, we'll understand the significance of it later. So we'll go for right click on this calculation view, new, and in this we'll go for cal1, and then we'll go for this with star join. With star join, if you select the with star join, you can immediately see that you will have the star join here. Okay, and you can actually go for this projection. So in the projection, I'll drag and drop this. Okay, star join, I'll drag and drop this one. Okay, in the projection, I'll drag it and drop the attribute view, and in the calculation view, in the star join, I'll go ahead with the table which you would like to join here. Now this is the first table that I would like to have it in the star join. Okay, so these are the fields that we have here, and we have this prediction, and then we have this star join. So we'll go ahead with this is one attribute view, and then I'll create another projection here, and in this projection I'll drag and drop the table. So in the table I'm selecting all the fields, and then going for the join. So in the join we have this. So we'll select these two fields. So customer number is the common field which I'll map it here. Customer number. I'm selecting this customer number here. Okay, made use of this customer join. So this join has to be given to the start join. Now in the start join we have given this, and then we will give the in the start join we'll create ZVA underscore CALB. This is of type Q. Now, let me see that attribute view name. The attribute view name was ZVA. ZVA cust. ZVA underscore A cust. Okay. Start join I'd like to add. So this is the ZVA calculation view. It's the first one, and then we would be actually joining on the common field. We'll be joining on the common field here. The common field happens to be the customer number. So you can basically see the data. Again, you have the privilege. Privilege issues are there for all the calculation views, so that we're going to fix it. But otherwise, we are good with creation of a calculation view of type Q with start join. So when we say with start join, what will happen is we have to join at least one table and another calculation view. So this calculation view should be of type measure. So at least one measure should be there in that, and then we are going to join them, and we are going to get the data in that. So these are the three different types of calculation views we have seen. One is of type dimension, just pure dimension, which is equivalent to the attribute view. Then we have seen type cube, which is of equivalent to analytical view, and then we have used the calculation. This is what we have done. Now let us now go ahead and explore things from the ABAP point of view. So we're going to start with ABAP point of view. I'm going to explain you from the ABAP point of view how do we access all these things into the ABAP perspective is what we'll see now. So if you like our video, please do subscribe to our channel and like the video and share these videos to your friends. It might help them as well. And please do comment if you like it.